What am I watching? What am I watching? Did I just sit here and spend 2 hours of my life watching Chelsea draw another game at home to a bottom five side in the league? This feels like a loss. This is a loss. Simple as that. For us, this is a loss. I'm almost willing to put my foot down right now and say we are not getting Champions League football. I'm being honest. I mean, before we even get into the lineup, the game, the result, just look at the fixtures that we just had and we have coming up. You had this run of games where going into them, I was talking about it. West Ham, Wolves, which we won, to be fair, Leeds, Burnley, and the position in the table that we are in, those 4 games were must-win games. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to compete for Champions League, even if it's 5 spots, say it's 5 spots, if you want to compete for Champions League, all 4 of those games have to be in the win column, and then we go from there. But now, talking about those last 2 results, let's look at where we're going. Usually I do this at the end, but this is paramount to discuss. Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle, Everton away, City, United. I mean, I think we have the toughest strength of schedule going into the end of the league. Brighton haven't been the best, even though I think they just got their win today. And then we still have Forest to play. They're all right this season. Liverpool, Tottenham, 2 of the last 3 games, and Sunderland away. Sunderland away. I mean, you guys tell me in the comments, honestly, Chelsea fans, tell me, fellow Chelsea fans, are you confident that we are getting Champions League football? Look at the game we just played and tell me that we're getting Champions League football. Leave that in the comments. But before we really get into this game, like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff would be much appreciated. Honestly, I need it right now because I need something to go my way today. Something, please. But let's talk about this game because what did I just witness? If you need any evidence as to why Chelsea is not getting Champions League football, in my opinion, the Burnley game and the Leeds game are the perfect examples. Leeds up 2-0, we lose it. I mean, we didn't lose it, but we it felt like a loss, honestly, but we draw it. That Leeds game, I mean, I don't even want to talk about that game anymore. That game is just like the classic example of Chelsea. We can't play 2 halves the same way. We get cooked. Okay, simple as that. This game is the perfect example of Chelsea's biggest challenge, biggest adversary, biggest obstacle to getting Champions League football is Chelsea. Simple as that. Simple as that. Look across the entire season. Look at the fixtures we had, the run of games we could have gone on, and look at the mistakes littered across the season. The red cards, the bozo conceding. Everything has been self-inflicted. Not to say teams haven't beat us. Of course teams have beat us. We're not the best team in the league. We never were going to be the best team in the league. A team can come and beat us. But against the big teams, we go out and we compete. And a lot of times we get results. Against the smaller teams, when we should just be racking up those point tallies, Chelsea beats Chelsea. And it's just that simple. And this game is case in point. But let's just look at the lineup. Obviously, we have some injuries, so not our fully strong lineup like Gusto at left back. But Fofana, Chalobah, probably our strongest center back pairing, given everyone who's healthy. Maybe you could say Sarr has room to get in that argument, but obviously he's new to the team. We'll see how that goes. James playing, I was happy with that. Caicedo, Santos, of course, our blessed double pivot. And then Neto on the left, Fernandez, Palmer, Joao Pedro. I mean, Esteval wasn't healthy, obviously, so, this is probably our strongest lineup without Cucurella and obviously Colwell, and then Esteval not healthy. And honestly, I wasn't mad at it. Neto was solid today. On the left, when I made a video in January talking about the strongest Chelsea lineup for the new manager, and I had Neto on the left in that lineup. Obviously, how things have gone this season, maybe I was a little premature in that assessment, but I thought with Neto's profile, the pace, the very heavy left-footedness, even though he could put a ball in on his right, but he rarely does it. I was thinking on the left, he beats his man and just whip a ball across the box. That can be dangerous for us. But then he started playing on the left in some games because obviously Esteban was on the right. And this dude refused to take his man down the line. He would just stay cutting in until like the left half space. And then he would just pass back. And I didn't understand why for the life of me. But today, that first goal was absolutely beautiful. And this is the roller coaster that is Chelsea Football Club. Because that first goal, 4 minutes in, when I saw that, I was gassed.
Yeah, baby.
I thought in that moment, oh, Chelsea is definitely getting Champions League football because that was some of the best build-up play we've had the entire season. Santos plays it through to Caicedo. Caicedo just one ball through the lines for Neto making the run. He has the pace to beat anyone to that ball, and he whips it in to joao Pedro, who just throws his body at it, gets it across the line, a little fumble, stumble, bumble. It didn't matter. 1-0, 4 minutes in, and I was like, "Whoa, this is Chelsea? Chelsea? This is Chelsea? Okay, hold up. That's I could live with this. If this is the Chelsea that we're gonna be watching, I could live with this." And then we watched, let's see, pretty much 80 minutes of wasted chances, blocks. I mean, to give it up to Burnley, I don't want to just make it seem like Burnley had no part in it because they had a block party. We had a lot of chances. Palmer, I mean, to be fair, Palmer had this one chance where Kyle Walker had a loose touch. Palmer, lucky does him a little bit for pace. And he has a chance almost one-on-one, but I think he takes it early because he thinks Walker's going to catch up to him and plays it right into the keeper. That was a bit poor from Palmer, I'm not going to lie, but you had other chances. I think there was one where Palmer plays it across the box to joao Pedro. Neto's open behind him, but he doesn't see him. And then he gets his shot blocked. Neto gets his shot blocked. There's a lot of block shots in this game. I mean, I got to give it up to Burnley. This is a team that's fighting to stay in the Premier League. And they are throwing their body at every shot we take. And it worked out for them. They stayed in the game. And that's what you want to do. If you're a team like Burnley, you just want to stay in the game, and see how much you can make it a game at the end. And it didn't take much because Wesley Fofana, red card at the 72nd minute. And at that point, I was like, hold up, okay, Fofana, I don't know what you're doing, but this is, I guess, par for the course of Chelsea. We had been on a good run of no red cards. I thought maybe we had turned the corner of discipline, and Fofana was playing so well in this game. The whole defense, even Chalobah had his moments. James was providing the calm on the ball. Gusto was all right on the left side, better than I had seen him on the left side, honestly, in previous cameos there. And I was like, okay, we can actually, we're not creating the clear cut chances that I would like. But maybe we'll actually see the game out, even though I was begging for that second goal. But Fofana, he just said, hold up, this is the Chelsea way. I got to get mine. Let me get my red card. And not only that, the nail in the coffin. I wish I was recording at the time to let you guys know. When Tosin Adarabioyo came on for Cole Palmer, I said it. I said, this game, we're throwing it away. We're not getting 3 points. It's just, and I hate to pick on one player, but it just is the nature of Chelsea. When Tosin Adarabioyo is on the pitch, we will concede a goal. So it made it even more important that we get a second. And honestly, for Rosenior, for me, that was the wrong move. Obviously, it's not his fault that Fofana gets the red card and we can't put away a second chance, but taking off Palmer, who was, even if you want to say he wasn't completely sharp, and he had a lot of loose touches on his right foot, and he wasn't putting away everything, but he was keeping us in these attacking patterns, giving us chances in the game. And honestly, we take chances. Even if they're not scoring everyone, you want to be getting chances. To take off Palmer in that moment and bring on the biggest defensive liability at the club, honestly, it's just the wrong move. It's just the wrong move for me. And case is in the pudding, or the proof is in the pudding. I'm saying fake sayings because this team has got my head all out of whack. But eventually, bring on Hato, bring on the lap. Okay, interesting. I mean, I guess we just want more energy, fresh legs. Hato is more naturally left-sided than Gusto. Actually, another defensive swap. The lap gives us some energy up top, maybe in transition. Joao Pedro. Okay, I can see that. Then we're already under the cosh. We bring on Mamadou Sarr and Josh Achimpong in the 88th and the 89th minute, basically, for Pedro Neto and Reece James. Pedro Neto probably our biggest transition threat. Reece James, our most experienced player, who we need to see out the game. And I get it. Reece James, you want him fit for Arsenal. Neto probably going to have to play against Arsenal if Esteban's not healthy. I mean, I get that. But we can't be thinking about Arsenal. Arsenal, that's even at full strength, that's like our hope is a draw, basically, against Arsenal at full strength. Even though I think at full strength, you probably can beat them. But even then, our hope is a draw at full strength. Right now, we need to be securing 3 points against Burnley. We need to guarantee 3 points. And I get his thought process. Just throw on everyone that's over 6 foot, like just get them on. Look at this. Joao Hato. Oh, we can't see his height. 6 foot. Get on the pitch. And then obviously he's a defender. Liam Delap. Get him on there. 6'1". Get him on there. I mean, it makes sense. Mamadou Sarr. Get him on there. 6'4". Okay, fair enough. He's a defender too. Makes sense. Achimpong. Get him on there. 6'1". We should be good once they get these corners, which they're inevitably going to get. But then you got to think twice and think, hold up. We're taking off Reece James, our most senior player, who's going to keep everyone together, experienced. And we brought on Joao Hato, who is 19 years old. Mamadou Sarr, who is 20 years old, and Josh Achimpong, who is 19 years old. Where is the experience in this back line? You could say Chalobah, but here's the thing about Chalobah. Despite his age and experience in the Premier League, he's prone to some lapses without someone more experienced next to him. Tosin, less said about him, the better. And then they get a chance, the 93rd minute. And as soon as I forgot, honestly, obviously he came on in this game. I forgot James Ward-Prowse was on Burnley. I hadn't seen him really much this year. Back when he used to be on West Ham, I know he used to be a menace with those dead ball deliveries. When I saw James Ward-Prowse on the corner, the funeral bells were tolling. They were tolling. It was rough. I knew this guy's dead ball delivery is worth a spot on a roster in itself in the Premier League because he plays a hell of a ball in. And Flemming, who has the freest run of all time across the entire box, gets a free header, bam, 1-1, and all of a sudden, in back-to-back games at home, we have dropped points to bottom 5 sides, and we're in a Champions League race. What are we doing? What are we doing? Because now look at the table. If we had secured these 3 points, we're on 47, and we put the pressure on United, Liverpool to get results in this race. Aston Villa I think they were also drawing at the time, or they were losing most of their game. They brought it back to a draw at the end, so that's honestly massive for them. And we were winning, so they would have been on 50, and we would have been on 47. All of a sudden, they're on 51, we're on 46, and it looks completely different. Now we're on the same points as United, who have a game in hand. They're gonna go play on Monday. They win, they go 3 points clear of us, which is massive for them in the race. Liverpool, if they win, they draw with us on points, even though we have way better goal difference, which is honestly what's keeping us in this top 5 race. And Brentford, luckily, didn't win. They didn't win their game. They lost to Brighton, that's a bad loss. Honestly, the form Brentford were on, the form Brighton were on, that's a bad loss. But still, if it's 4 places, we're done. I'm not gonna lie, we're done. I know it's a very close in points, but if you look at our run of fixtures, we have by far the hardest run of fixtures to end the season. If it's 5 places, maybe we can scrape it. But even then, it's looking like it's gonna be these top 3. Maybe I don't know where Villa's gonna stay there. They're gonna stay in the fight anyway. United, Liverpool, and we're gonna be just in 6th, the odd man out. That's how I'm feeling right now because it's just all self-inflicted. It's all self-inflicted, and we can't allow things to be self-inflicted in these must-win games. If it's in the big games, okay, maybe you weren't expected to win anyway. But in these games that are must-wins, Chelsea's beating Chelsea, and then now we have to go. And to be fair, we do play well in big games. Maybe we go on a run and get some results. But if I'm being honest, that was more under Maresca. Rosenior has yet to show us how he can really go and take it to a bigger team. The Arsenal game, the second leg of that Carabao Cup, I'm not going to lie, it was spooky. It was spooky the way we set up for that game. So my confidence right now is at an all-time low. I'm not going to lie. Maybe, let me know in the comments. If you're feeling more comfortable about us getting Champions League football, let me know because I need some kind of reassurance. Maybe you guys are seeing something I'm not. But the results we just had in those last 2 games, especially we just had a week off for the first time in a while. And to come back and draw to Burnley at home. And now, luckily, we have another week off to go face Arsenal. But brother, Arsenal, is that, I think, that away? And no, at the Emirates. At the Emirates. It's spooky season, ladies and gentlemen. It's spooky season. But either way, honestly, Arsenal's attack, I'm not that scared if I'm being honest. But just the game in general, I don't know how we go and get a ton of goals against them, if I'm being honest. So I'm just gonna wrap it up there because honestly, I want to forget about that, move on with my day. I'll probably watch the City game. I don't know if I'll do a video on it because that Arsenal video against Wolves I did absolutely stunk up the gaff. But still, I probably will watch the City game just because I'm interested in the title race. And I'll probably watch the North London Derby tomorrow too. Once again, do I do a video? I don't know because it seems like we're only here for the Chelsea content, and I understand. But we'll see. I'll probably watch the game anyway though. So like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff. If you do want to see videos on those games, let me know. But I appreciate you guys for making it this far, and I'll see you at least for the game next week against Arsenal. Now, I didn't say it before, but now these are looking like must-win games. So I'll see you there. Peace.